Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Come on in the room. Come on in this house and shut the door. Welcome to this week's episode of Cherish, Live, and Dream. I am your host, YaYa.
And I am your host, Jay.
And we are your hope dealers. So, guess what? Girl check. Girl check. Bet you want to know what we're talking about. We are recognizing this month. We're actually celebrating this month for breast cancer awareness.
Yes.
And it just so happened we're wearing our pink.
Yes, we are.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
Girl, you're beautiful.
Thank you, and so are you.
Thank you. So as you guys know, this is breast cancer awareness and girl check. The girls.
That's right. Check on them.
Yes.
Make sure they're okay.
Yes. And also, we not are just going to focus on females. Men also have been diagnosed with breast cancer.
Yes.
Not sure what they call their boobage. It would be kind of interesting for them to call their boobage girl check. But hey, I know, I'm not going to judge. I'm not the one to judge. So, hey. Boy check. Yeah. Boy check. Girl check. Boy check. So anyway.
I love it.
I actually just had a mammogram. So my birthday is in July. So I in July. So I usually get everything checked from the rooter to the tutor around my birthday annually.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I get checked. But I can't remember if they told me I have to go back. Is it every year or is it? I can't remember.
Every year for a mammogram, yes.
Mammogram? Okay. I'm always getting checked out, y'all. I know my insurance get tired of seeing my name.
Here comes another claim. Another one. And another one.
Y'all, I just went to the dentist, boy. They tore my mouth up on this side. I was looking like Quasimodo. But anyway, so I got a mammogram. And let me tell y'all, it was so funny. I had that tech in there dying. Because as you can see, my girls are quite developed. And so the machines that they use now, they're kind of, I don't know if it's plastic, but
yes, that hard kind of,
yeah.
the
So
real
it's
hard
not like
plastic.
I don't know what the machines look like back in the day, but I heard those machines would basically almost just tear your boob off. It would be so painful. But anyway,
Oh wow,
it wasn't painful for me. But what was going on is so they have you, put your breast on a little plate and they'll shift it or whatever. And boy, she was lifting them things up like a chip. I was like, girl, this ain't your first rodeo, is it? She was like, no, ma'am. I was like, oh my God. She was just handling me. I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on in here? But anyway, after all that was said and done, of course, they do both sides or whatever. And because my boobs are quite developed, they had to do some extra scans or whatever. So she said. I don't know. I think she just enjoyed handling my boobs. A topic for another show. Anyway.
Oh boy, I almost lost it. She could have.
I don't know. But anyway, it was a good experience because she did make me feel comfortable or whatever, as far as letting me know step by step what she was getting ready to do, why she was doing it, and then letting me know that if there was anything wrong, that the doctor would get in contact with me. But glory be to God. For me, everything is all well. So that's good news. And so we're having a show just to make sure that all of us, our guys and our gals, get our boobage, our groceries, our foliage, our girls and boys checked. So, having said that, Jay,
Yes.
what your girls doing?
So my girls will be getting checked in November.
Okay.
So I have an appointment. And so, yes, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but when you have other types of cancers as well, especially when you have a family history
Mhm.
of cancer in your family, there are certain, routine visits that you need to have because of the history of cancer in your family. So next month, I will be having my pap smear, but the week before that, I have to have a vaginal ultrasound. And with that vaginal ultrasound, that's when they will look at my ovaries.
Mhm.
So, just to put it out there, when we get our pap smear, they're just really checking like the cervix, pretty much.
For
You know.
cervical cancer and things like that.
Mhm. But when it comes to your ovaries,
Mhm.
they're not checking your ovaries when they just do a regular pap smear. Because your ovaries are kind of like up,
Mhm.
kind of up this way. So that's when they do the vaginal ultrasound, they can see, everything that's, going on in there. And so therefore, because my mom passed away of ovarian cancer, as well as her sister, she had breast cancer and she had uterine cancer.
Oh wow, I didn't know
Uh-huh.
that.
Yep.
Wow, and she's passed.
Yep,
Oh
she's passed
wow.
away. Yeah. And so because we have that family history, then every year I have to have a vaginal ultrasound to check my ovaries and to make sure that there's nothing going on with that. And of course, every year any woman should get their breast checked, as well as we should do our own exams. I know I have one of those plaque things that's in my shower,
Mhm.
and it shows you, how you're supposed to lift your arm up, and you're supposed to go around in the circular motion and, check your breasts. And it's good to do it, especially when you're laying down sometimes too, just to check. And, we can feel like I'm heavy chested as well. And so, a lot of times we have like dense breasts.
Oh, I was just going to say that
Uh
because
huh.
when I've tried, when I have attempted to do my own exams, and I don't anymore because by the time I finish, I'm thinking, oh gosh, there's nothing good here. So I don't do it, which is not really a good thing. So don't you guys do what I do. If you do your self exams and you like doing them and you're
Mm
comfortable, continue. But yeah, so I feel those different
hmm. Yeah.
pockets of tissue. I
Yep.
guess that's what
Yep.
that is.
Mhm. Mhm. And so, when you have very dense breasts, that's why now they have come up with the 3D, excuse me, they come up with the 3D mammogram
Hmm.
versus to the 2D. They have the 3D, and I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with a 4D. But I always get a 3D. Did you get
Hmm.
a 3D?
It was 3D.
Yeah, because I have dense breasts, and then so they can catch and see more than what
Hmm.
they would with just a regular 2D mammogram. So yeah, so it's just good, especially if you're still having a cycle. It's always good to do it after your menstrual cycle, and then of course, just do it every month, and it's just important. And if you have other cancers, like I said, every year I have to go a week before. So then that way, once I have that vaginal ultrasound and then my doctor does my pap smear, then she will sit down and she talks to me about everything and just
Hmm.
say, what I should and what I should not do. When it comes to that, even when it comes down to hysterectomies and things like that, like us as women, and I know it's breast cancer awareness month, but just us as women in general, we have so much that we have to deal with and so many things that we have going on. I
Right.
mean, you can even tie it into, when you're pregnant and you bring a child into this world and then your hormones and everything is off and then you're dealing with postpartum depression. And so it's like we every year or every month or anytime that we have a child, our bodies just change and things just kind of get out of whack. So it's like we always have to make sure that our reproductive system is okay, because if something goes wrong with our reproductive system, it can throw everything off.
Right.
I mean, so breast cancer is important. I know of some people that have had breast cancer. I know some breast cancer survivors. Yes, we do. I know plenty, as well as I know some that have lost the battle with breast cancer and they have passed on. But each and every individual that I know, and I'm not going to call out any names, but you know who you are. You all have been strong.
Yes.
You all have been resilient. You've been courageous. I mean, you were able to get through. And with me working at Regional Cancer Care, which that business is no longer up and thriving, but I saw it. I saw the patients coming in there, and they ring a bell. we had this veil that I had introduced and thought it was a good idea because when my mom went to her cancer treatments, they had this veil. So I thought it was a good idea for us to do it there. And when they had that last treatment and when they came back and they were in remission, it was a blessing and it just brought tears to my eyes
Yeah,
when you
it's about to
see.
bring tears to my eyes now.
Yeah, I mean, because it's a struggle. And you know, personally, you seen your mom go through, treatments and everything. I saw my mom go through treatments, and it's hard on the body.
Mhm.
It is hard on the body, but even more so, it's a mind thing too. Like you really have to get your mind right for not just the physical changes that you go through, as a person that's going through the chemotherapy, but also the mental changes that it takes you through. You look different.
Right.
Some people lose their hair. You even have women that have to have is it mm, mastectomy? What is it? Oh my God, are we
A
gonna do this?
mastectomy. Wait a minute, I'm up here laughing. Do I even
Wait
know?
a minute, I know how
When
to
your
say it.
breasts are removed.
No, and I know how to
It's
say it.
mastectomy.
Yeah, it is mastectomy.
Oh
I
my
know
God.
it's MAS.
Mastectomy.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
mastectomy.
mastectomy.
No, mastectomy.
Mastectomy.
MAS.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, TE. Yeah,
I was in health
mastectomy.
occupation student of America in high school.
But the thing is,
I should know this.
I worked at a cancer facility, and I don't know if I was just talking too fast, and I just a
Yeah, it's
mastectomy.
mastectomy. Yeah,
Yes,
yes.
it's a
That sounds
mastectomy.
good, good,
But
good.
okay,
Yes.
anyway, so I apologize, you guys, because I'm not making light of it. But a mastectomy. So anytime you even have some women, and there's been some actors that although that they had you know like a history of breast cancer, like in their families or whatever, there's this Brock analysis test that I had to take.
Hmm.
And so what it does is it's like a real entailed blood test. And I mean they test like it's
It's for
like
everything,
testing like
right?
no
Or
other.
just breast
It's pretty
cancer.
much like for breast cancer and I think ovarian cancer.
Okay.
And so that rock analysis can let you know if you have any cells or if you have any chance of getting whatever that cancer may be.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, though, and I'm not saying funny in laughter, but my mom took the Brock analysis test and it came back negative, but she still ended up having,
Wow.
or somehow she ended up getting the ovarian cancer. Um, Mine was negative when I took it, and so, but I still have to do the precautions every year to continue to do that.
Hmm.
So it's just different things that, you just need to know. Just if you have, if cancer runs in your family on the maternal side or even on the paternal side, as far as, your mother and your father, you still need to take those precautions to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing when you have a history of cancer in your family, that
Right.
you're following up and doing all those, different tests, whether it's blood tests, whether it's you had to get what, a colonoscopy.
Yes, I recently had to get a colonoscopy because I was having blood in my stool.
Okay.
And sometimes it will be a little bit, and in my opinion, sometimes it will be a lot. So that was quite concerning. And I do know I have a history of IBS, irritable bowel syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
and since I had my son, also as a result of that, hemorrhoids.
Oh wow.
Mhm. But they were internal. Well, they're internal anyway, but some come out.
Yeah.
But mine. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I know this may be too much
No,
information,
this is.
but I think this is yeah.
This is about our health. I mean,
So, but mine doesn't necessarily pop out. They stay in. So, so my doctor knew all of that, but because my mother, even though she died of pancreatic cancer,
hmm,
I was having really serious stomach pain.
okay.
I mean, to the point where I would be bent over.
Hmm.
And so that was really concerning. So I had to have that. And let me tell y'all, the colonoscopy, that prep, I don't know which is worse, the actual colonoscopy, which they do put you to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the best 30 minutes. Let me tell you, that nurse was like, Miss Jackson, Miss
It's
Jackson.
time to go now.
I was like, no.
This ain't no
But
sleep study.
anyway, that prep that they give you, you have to take it. Some doctors prescribe it 2 days before, some doctors prescribe it a day before. Mine was a day before, thank God, because I don't think I could go through that 2 days. So basically, you're on a liquid, clear diet. Um, and you go through that the whole day, and you take the prep, and it basically flushes out your intestines. And when I
Mhm.
say it flushes out, I'm so sorry. Maybe don't think that. Y'all, I always break character. Not that I'm in a character now. I mean, I'm a character all by myself. But anyway, it cleans you out, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And so you can't go anywhere. You basically cannot leave your toilet. That's how much it cleans you out. So I say all that to say, and like Jay said earlier, I'm not making light of this. It is serious.
Mhm.
Any cancer that you get.
Yes.
Um, so I'm glad that I did it because it was what my doctor suspected. It was the hemorrhoids that was causing the bleeding.
Mhm.
But I don't know if I told you they found 2 polyps.
Mhm. You
So
did.
they did remove that.
Mhm.
That was good. And so I have to go back every 3 years.
Okay.
So they say, but I don't know if I can do that myself because
Well, the insurance company probably won't pay for it.
no. I'm saying because I don't want to be a prep again.
Oh. I thought you were saying that like you
I don't
want
want
to
to
get
be.
it done every
Oh
year.
heck no!
Yeah.
I can't go through that every year. So
Yeah.
3 years, but anyway. But in all seriousness, I mean, I will go back in 3 years, because I want to make sure I take care of my body and get the
Right.
necessary checks done. And I do. My doctor did talk to me about getting tested for other cancers, which I'll do that at some point. You know, that blood test that you were talking about.
Mhm.
Um,
CA 125.
oh, okay.
That's what I learned. Regional Cancer Care, baby. Telling you that was the best job ever. It really was. But
And it seemed
yeah,
like it was a blessing.
it
I mean, I know
was.
you talked about it before as far as being able to, go through what you dealt with after your
Yeah.
mom passed and help others get through it.
Yeah.
But very knowledgeable.
Yeah, I really learned a lot at that job,
Mm.
and I've kind of lost a lot of it because I used to know um, when patients would be in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4, there were different cancer regimens that they would use
Oh wow.
for particular cancers. So you just
Mm-hmm.
can't use any cancer drug that you want to just on whatever cancer that you want to. There's like different drugs that you use for breast cancer versus what you use for colon cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of the drugs might be the same, but the regimen was different.
Gotcha.
They were built with different drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And so, contingent upon which stage that they were in, they would have like different cycles. Like the cycle that my mom was on, she was 3 weeks on and 1 week off. So she would go every week, and have her treatment for 3 weeks straight, and then she would have the 1 week off, and then they would do them in different cycles like
Yeah,
that.
that was similar to my mom.
Uh-huh. So,
I wonder if you can help me understand this. So when my mother was going through her treatment, there was a
mhm,
medication that they wanted to introduce, and even though by this time it was already stage 4 and it had already spread it,
mhm.
metastasized,
Yes, that would be it.
to her, I can't remember, but it spread it,
Mhm.
and it was really just to give her a longer life. It wasn't going to cure her,
Right.
but at a certain point, because I guess she was getting worse,
Yes.
then they said it didn't make sense. So, but in my mind, and,
Mhm.
and thinking, okay, I don't need you to keep my mama here as long as you
Mhm.
can. So I was kind of upset about that. Do you know why? They didn't introduce that.
Because depending upon what the drug was, if it
Mm-hmm.
was a newer drug, which 9 times out of 10 it probably was,
Mm-hmm.
um, they probably didn't want to use it in a stage that was so that like a stage 4.
Oh,
It
okay.
probably needed to be something that started like in stage 1 or stage 2. So because it has spread to so many different organs at that point, it would be a waste of time.
Oh, okay.
And so yes, we are sensitive to that because of the fact that that was your mom,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, okay, I want y'all to keep giving her this drug, but at the same token, if the physicians see that the chemotherapy is not working any longer and it's not doing anything as well as the sickness and everything, the
Mm-hmm.
tiredness that it does with your loved one. Everything tastes like metal. It changes
Yeah,
their
she
taste
said
buds and
that.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
so they stop eating. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're throwing up all the time. They're constantly losing weight. And so it gets to a point to where the physicians just have to say, we can't keep doing this to your mom, or we
Mhm.
can't keep doing this to your loved one because of the fact that it's not helping. And they even had to do that to my mom.
Mhm.
Like it came to a point where the doctor had just had to tell us as a family, she was like, we cannot, it's not helping. The
And
cancer treatment's not helping.
and I
So
commend the doctors because and I can't remember that man's name, but he made such an impression on my family.
hmm.
Because when he said, so when we first found out, and guys, I know we started this conversation talking about breast cancer awareness. Don't want to take away from that, but I think it's also important we include other cancers because not other cancers get a month.
Right.
Um, so anyway, so he's from his native country, India.
Hmm.
Um, and he said, "Listen, I'm a man of God." And he said, "My knowledge is finite, but God's knowledge is infinite. So I am telling you what I know from the wisdom and knowledge that God gave me.
Yes,
But who knows what God can do?"
that's right.
And right then and there, we knew we had the right doctor.
There you go.
And he said, "I'm going to tell you this." He said,
Mm.
"I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell you what it is from A to Z." So he
Hmm.
let us know what was going on and things like that. And so, what was so hard for me during that time when my mother was going through,
Hmm.
she got to a point for me, it seemed like she was giving up. But I think, like you said, because of the medication and
Hmm.
all of that, she was like, I just want to stop it. But we're like, no,
Hmm.
you can't stop
Hmm.
it. But we're not in. I wasn't in her body.
No, and that's where our selfishness comes in. It's like we want them to continue to stay, but at the same token, they're not the same. I
Oh,
know when
they
I
look.
looked at my mom,
Ah,
she, it changed. I mean, she looked different, and it wasn't that she looked bad, but her spunk was kind of gone.
it was gone. It was
Mhm.
for my mom. It was
Yeah.
gone. She was just not the same person.
Mhm.
And I can't even. This is the first time I'm getting ready to admit this. I don't think I've told anybody this, but when she passed, part of me was relieved.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Because I did not want to see her like that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is horrible. Like I
Yeah.
literally, saw her dying. And so
Mhm.
towards the end,
Mhm.
and I have no regrets. Um, I didn't go see her as much because they lived about 2 hours away.
Mhm.
Because I couldn't stand to see her like that, and I wanted to remember
That's
her
all
how
right.
she was.
Mhm.
And so when we finally, she eventually had to go to hospice. And so when we finally heard that she had passed, although my heart kind of basically felt like it was snatched out of my chest, part of me was relieved because while she wasn't healed on this side,
Yes.
she received her healing on the other side, and I believe that.
Mhm.
So I have my memories. Actually, y'all, my mother visits me in my dreams all the time.
Mhm.
And I do believe there's some significance to that because depending on the type of dream, it'll be something. I tell you this,
Yep.
Jay, because
Yep. You
sometimes
sure
Jay be
do.
like, "Did your mama visit you?" Well, we have to make he, especially when
Yes.
we was talking about this show and getting the show launched. I'm like, "Girl, no, my mama visited me last night. I don't think we should do this."
And it's a good thing that we listen to Miss Linda,
Yes.
because we do not want to make any wrong decisions in this season.
You're right. So I have those memories and things like that. But yes, so I'm so glad that there are screenings and things that we can get
Yes.
now
Yes.
to get in front of it.
That's right. Like Matthew would say, get in front of it, and we got to take care of the
The
girls
girls, yes, and the guys.
and the guys. Yes. Yes.
So, and the reason why I said earlier we're celebrating Cancer Awareness Month because even though we have some survivors
Mhm.
here on this side of heaven,
Yes.
we still have survivors on the other side of heaven.
That's
so
right.
then we get a chance to celebrate life here
Mhm.
and on the other side. So even though we may lose our loved ones, we can still celebrate them. We have the memories.
Yes. So important.
Yes, and we can just really just thank God for the time that we've had them here.
Mhm.
So that's a way of offering you guys some hope,
Mhm.
making sure you take care of yourself,
Yes.
especially the girls,
Especially the girls.
the groceries.
Yes, that she calls them. And as Regine says from Living Single, I have these. So, so again, ladies, as well as men, every month after your menstrual cycle, you have to check your breasts. You have to do the arm up. You take the
I was gonna say,
opposite
you gonna
arm.
give us a demonstration?
Yeah, they normally say you put your arm up and then you take the other and you kind of go around in a circular, motion and you kind of mash,
Okay.
to make sure that you're not missing anything. And of course, I'm not a nurse, you guys. So please, I'm not a nurse at all, but I just know, from having to do it and as well as, my doctor, when we go and do the annuals and everything, they check everything and the mammograms and all that kind of stuff. So, and I know it can be nerve wracking when you have to go because sometimes I'm just like on edge when I have to go, like just, praying that they don't find anything, because you have to go every year
Right.
and you don't hear anything until after they done mashed you to death.
And
then
you think
they
about your
pull,
family.
yeah, and they pulling you up and flopping it on, and they
Yeah.
mashing it down, and then turning around this
Yeah.
way. Then you got to hold your breath, and
Yeah, hold your breath
and
in.
then don't move, and then you release. But at the same token, as you're getting that done, subconsciously, I'm thinking like, Lord, please, I just,
You praying your way through.
yeah,
Praying your way
because
through.
although you're doing preventative measures, to get these things checked out, you're waiting for the answer to make sure that you're clear, to go another year, and especially when you have a family history of cancer in your family, whether if it be colon cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, lung cancer. Even have people that have throat cancer. So it can be a number of things. So let's just continue to take care of ourselves. Let's continue to exercise. Let's walk. Let's eat better. I'm talking to myself as far as drinking sodas. I've done real good though. I have really cut down on drinking. Girl, I love a
Cokes.
Pepsi, honey. I just like Cokes from McDonald's with extra ice.
With extra
It's something
ice.
about those fountain drinks at McDonald's, especially the Coke. I don't know what it
She
is.
kills me with the extra ice because after you put all that ice in your cup, you only get this about this.
And that's all I need. And that is all I need. But I like my drinks to be cold. I don't know, I just like my drinks to be cold. But and to the breast cancer survivors, as well as to anyone that has recently been diagnosed with cancer or whatever, stay in the fight. Continue to get your treatments and do, what the doctors is saying, doing, and just try to keep your mind as positive as possible. And just praying that you have loved ones and you have people that are really supporting you and being there for you through it. Because I know what it's like to watch a loved one to go through that and to go through the chemotherapy. And it's not easy. But at the same token, you have to have strong people that are there for you and that's going to stick by you through the thick and thin, stick with you through the mental changes and the physical changes,
Right.
and just continue to love you as you get back on track and as you ring that bell at that last treatment
Yes.
and have that last visit with the doctor and say that you are in remission. So I am fighting for you guys. I'm rooting for you guys. I'm praying for each and every person, regardless of what kind of cancer that you have. I'm just praying that you get through it and that you survive and that you will come out resilient.
And then you'll be able to sing, "Ring my bell, ring my bell."
Ring a ring a ring. Woo!
And we don't what?
Own the rights to that song.
Yes.
That's an old song too.
I know.
Very old.
So listen, thank you for joining us. We hope that this information that we gave you guys will be helpful, but most of all, we hope. So until next time, continue to cherish, live, and dream. And we will see you guys next week.
Next
We love
week.
you.
Bye.
Bye.